A lot of things are expensive, Anna. I mean, it's men.
That's not an answer.
Right.
Women have 85% of consumer spending. Women spend money all the time. You spend money on hair dye, you spend money on Botox, you spend money.
You should think about it.
On the.
I sure am.
Anna Kasparian versus Pearl. Full debate video by Insatiably. I think this is just a channel reposting it though. Everyone's been talking about this. So here we have Anna Kasparian, who is more or less a progressive person. She works for the Young Turks. She's a commentator on the Young Turks. And then over here we got It's Just Pearly Things, who is a red pill trad wife, wannabe grifter type person. You know, she's a pick-me red pill woman. And they had a debate. They decided to debate on feminism, and Pearl, she just gets completely obliterated, bro. Anna just drags her by her hair for an hour straight. It's fucking crazy. So let's go ahead and react to that. Before we dive in, though, I want to tell you guys to go ahead and follow me on Twitter. Perfect. Follow me on Twitter, also known as X, because I'm over here bullying these red pill dorks like Myron Gaines and Sneeko, you know what I'm saying? You know, we already bodying these niggas over here on Twitter or on YouTube, but I want to take the fight to Twitter as well, so make sure to follow me over there on Twitter. Yeah, we fucking clowning these niggas, for sure. You guys know what Twitter is like if you're on Twitter. It's very white supremacist centered. These fucking losers have built massive followings by grifting and shitting on black people and just glazing and sucking white dick. And it's time that, you know what I'm saying, we get some niggas over there to put these fuck niggas in their place, just like how we're doing that shit on YouTube. On YouTube, you type in Myron Gaines, it's just this nigga getting clowned, bro. Just a million videos of niggas clowning him. Well, let's bring some of that energy to Twitter, so make sure you go follow me on Twitter, link down below in the description. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this debate and just watch the carnage unfold. This shit is fucking hilarious.
Aside from the specific anecdote that you shared, which of course is tragic, can you cite some actual studies that look at these statistics and back up what you say in regard to the outcomes of marriage and divorce in America?
All right, fair enough.
41% of 109 rape cases reported to police in a Midwestern city were admitted to be false by complainants.
In one Midwestern city?
Anecdote.
And which Midwestern city was that?
You know, you can go from your ivory tower and
I'm not in an ivory tower. I'm on this debate stage.
She started to crumble immediately. So she's asking you for data. You decide to use an anecdote. You pick out one Midwest city. She's like, which Midwest city is that, by the way? She's like, oh, you know what? You can stop bullying me immediately. Oh, God. Yeah, right away you can tell who's going to get fucking washed in this debate, bro. It's crazy.
Interrogating your assertions, and you've only provided an anecdote.
She ain't even iron her shirt, bro. God damn. You see, it's little shit like this, you can know who's gonna lose just off of the beginning. You ain't even gotta hear the debate. The fact that you showing up to this debate in this grandma shirt and you ain't even ironed this shit, I mean, you was gonna get washed without a shadow of a doubt.
Right.
Because if you look at the data, which I did, of course,
pressure,
you'll find that women are twice as likely to fall into poverty after divorce.
Right, because they can't
alimony
stop
is
spending.
paid out in 10% of divorces. According to the Census Bureau, the average child support payment is $441 a month. And only 60%
right, but how
of
much are
those
they
payments
making?
get paid out.
How much?
Women do not get child custody 90% of the time, as you have asserted before. In fact, 95% of custody cases are mutually agreed upon outside of the courtroom. Women get...
You know, it's funny, right? These red pill losers love to complain about, you know, marriage and talk about how it's a trap for child support and all that shit. But every nigga I know will tell you that they've heard their mother complain. If their parents are divorced, they've heard their mom complain about not getting child support, bro. Not getting the check on time, not getting the full amount. It's like, where are these women that are apparently running up a big bag off of child support? I mean, unless they're literally having babies for NBA players and NFL players, the average woman is not looking at getting pregnant, getting married, and then getting divorced as some kind of get-rich-quick scheme. No, they are literally fucking themselves when they do that shit, so.
Full custody, 40% of the time. Men do get full custody 20% of the time.
Right.
And 40% of the time, it's shared custody.
And most men don't want full custody. Let's keep it a stack. Most men do not want full custody.
Which I think is the ideal situation, assuming that neither spouse is abusive.
Alimony and medical care and dental are not covered by that, so a lot of times it does go above 50%. Again.
What is she even talking about?
You can go through the facts, the data, and the statistics and manipulate them any way that you want.
It's not manipulation.
There are
Those are the stats.
There are
Right.
1.6 million men in this country.
She just listed off the stats. Where's the manipulation?
Men are 9 times more likely to commit suicide after a divorce.
Compared to women, what's the number for women?
It's lower.
Really? What is it? Comparative analysis is real difficult for you, isn't it?
Okay.
Damn, you just gonna stand there? you ain't gonna say shit? God damn. Yo, this shit is over. They don't even need to do a whole hour. God damn.
Go ahead, Pearl.
What's your next question?
You have asserted
Go ahead, Pearl.
that men shouldn't get married, that instead they should shack up.
I didn't say that.
You did say that with
did
Trent
not say
Horn.
that.
Word for word, you said it makes more sense for them to shack up, live with a girlfriend instead of getting married. Do you think the advice that you give to men is the type of advice that will fulfill their lives? Because I'll tell you one thing, the best part of my life is my husband. I love my husband. He's my rock, he's my foundation. And no, my husband is number one. I love my career, but you know what my career did? When I met my husband, my career was already established. He, on the other hand, was couch surfing, he was in debt, and didn't know what he wanted to do with his life. I married him anyway. You want to know why? Because I had the economic freedom to marry for love, not for some Chad to take care of me.
How tall is he?
Oh, he's 6'1", about your height.
Oh, you fucking tall, bitch. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, you got a lot of baddies out there. It's just, you got a pylon. It's a lot of baddies out there that are well tall. You know what I'm saying? For sure. But, it's funny. It's funny now. What Anna just said is completely flying in the face of everything these red pill losers tell you to believe. She got with a dude that essentially she was making more money than. She had a more established career, but because she found bro attractive, probably liked his personality, probably was giving her some good dick, and seemed like he had potential, even though she was established, had clout, had money, she got with bro. And now he's probably doing pretty well for himself. And so this idea that women only want to get with men that make more money than them, and you gotta, nah, bro, you just gotta be attractive to a woman. You know what I'm saying? Attractive to a woman. You ain't gotta think that unless you're making X amount of money or have X amount of followers or whatever, you can't find a wife.
Do you believe that women should be financially responsible 100% after divorce?
Feminists wanted to be equal. So I say be equal. If you guys want equality, 50-50 custody, no child support, no alimony, no special privileges.
Alimony is paid out in 10% of divorces.
It doesn't matter if you're part of the 10%.
It does matter. It does matter because you make it seem like it's a widespread issue when it's only 10%.
The 10 years doctrine is a sexist law against men. That's sexist.
How is it sexist if a woman decided to forego a career, decided to be a stay-at-home mother, and the marriage doesn't work out, she has no job, she has no income, so you think it's unfair to get support from her ex-husband so she can raise the kids, so she can pay?
60% of kids under 5 have daycare. Daycare is an option now. You wanted to be men.
Do you know how much daycare costs?
Exactly.
You wanted to be
think
men.
daycare is free? That's the problem with people who aren't even remotely close to being in the field they're trying to give advice for, giving advice, right? Like these red pill loser dorks who are fucking cucks and are getting their chicks stolen from them like Sneeko and Myron Gaines. These people want to give you advice on women, and they the farthest thing from being fathers or husbands or even boyfriends. And so it's like the same thing with this Pearl chick. You know what I'm saying? She the farthest thing from a mother or a wife or a fiance if she want to talk about, you know what I'm saying, this shit. On top of the fact that she doesn't even understand the data and the statistics. Is hilarious.
Here
Do you know how much daycare costs? Do you think it's free?
Let her answer. Let her answer.
A lot of things are expensive, Anna. I mean, it's men.
That's not an answer.
Right.
Women have 85% of consumer spending. Women spend money all the time. You spend money on hair dye. You spend money on Botox. You spend money.
You should think about it.
On the.
I sure am.
You spend money all of the time.
Yep.
So you wanted to be men. Here it is. You're equal. Pay for daycare.
Why? How is that equal if the woman is the only one paying for daycare, you fucking idiot?
It means that when you have a child or children, you're both responsible. So the idea that the woman should take 100% of the costs on herself without any help from her husband or ex-husband is ridiculous. How is that fair?
Well, how is it fair that he doesn't get 50-50 custody?
Well, first of all,
they get 50-50 custody 40% of the time. What are you talking about? And most dudes do not want 50-50 custody. That's the reality of it. You know what I'm saying? Most dudes do not want 50-50 custody. In a divorce, most dudes want to see their kids on the weekend, bro. That's really what it is. Most dudes want like 40-60, 30-70 custody. That's the reality of it. But the ones that do want 50-50, I mean, like I said, 40% of the time they get 50-50 custody.
Why are you asserting that they don't?
It's 50% his DNA. Why can't he have 50% custody? Where
there
has
was a
feminists
study.
been? I've been
Let
on
me answer your question, even though I should be
different-
interrogating you. I'll answer your question. Massive study out of Massachusetts that looked at 24,000 divorces. In those 25 divorces, they found that in only 8% of cases did men ask for custody.
I'm telling you, niggas do not want custody of their kids, bro. You know who talk about this shit? People who don't have kids. I'm telling you, people who don't have kids who are making these arguing points. If you actually knew the reality of it, when men and women get divorced, most men want to just give the responsibility of raising the children, like doing the hard shit, to the women. What they want is to be able to pick up their kids, take them to Disney World, take them to the park, go have a good time, have fun, have a sleepover, come over on the weekend, watch movies. They don't want to be coming home from work, helping them with homework, you know what I'm saying, taking care of them when they're sick. They don't want to do the hard shit. That's most men. That's the reality of it. I'm telling you.
8%.
Right, because the average American can't afford divorce fees, Anna.
But women
it
can
costs
afford to raise the children
to
by themselves
divorce.
without support from the ex-husband. How does that make sense?
What did you say? I didn't hear you. We were both talking.
You're complaining about the costs while simultaneously arguing that a woman should not get child support in order to raise the children that the former couple had together.
Are you guys equal or not? You want to
Yes,
be equal.
equality means that you're both responsible for raising the children, and that includes the costs of raising the children.
So you should have equality, but not at the expense of men. 50-50 custody, 50-50, no child support, no alimony. That's equality. You don't want
alimony
equality.
makes sense if the woman was a stay-at-home mother and doesn't have a source of income. How else would she take care of the kids following a divorce?
By getting a job just like the men.
But then what happens if you're a man and you are making millions of dollars a year and your wife isn't qualified to make that kind of money, you would rather have the child suffer, have a poor quality of life, because when the child now has to go and be with the mom and does not have access to the resources that the child has with dad, don't you think that is going to damage the relationship between the child and the mother? The child will now start to associate living with the mother as being worse off. It gets in the way of the parent and the child just being able to have a good and healthy relationship. And so, yeah, how about as a man, you understand that when you have a child with a woman, you're taking all of this shit on. And now the child becomes the priority. It's not about you. It's not about the woman. It's about the kid.
So you're saying that a woman who doesn't have recent job history is just going to willy-nilly enter the job force or workforce, I should say, and easily get hired. Do you guys care about this? So do you care about the children or not? Because you're making this about like the poor husband, the poor ex-husband who doesn't want to pay the child support,
right?
Doesn't want, to
That's the thing with all these conservatives. They actually don't give a fuck about the child, right? It's why it's all about controlling women and upholding the patriarchy, right? Keeping men in the positions where they have all the power and all the money and all the resources. Because what they say, they don't want to give women the ability to have safe abortions, right? But then they don't want to actually put any welfare programs in place to help struggling mothers take care of the child, right? They're making this about the man's wallet instead of about the welfare of the child, which is what child support is about. It's not called wife support. It's not called ex-wife support. It's not called baby mama support. It's called child support. You fucking idiot.
On any of the responsibilities of having children in the first place, why is it that you seem to have a problem with men carrying out their responsibilities? But when it comes to
men are dying to care about their responsibilities. Men are fighting to be a part of their kids' lives.
What's the empirical data on that?
I don't need data. How many people in here have had a family or a friend fight for their kid and not be able to get it? The reason that this happens, Anna, is because lawyers tell them not to fight because it's so expensive and they won't win.
What is that based on?
They won't win full custody. If a man is trying to fight for full custody, then yeah, he's fucked. But most courts start off at 50-50 custody. That's the default setting for most divorce situations where children are involved. It starts off with, 50-50 custody. So if you're rich, you really don't got to worry about shit because you're rich, you know what I'm saying? And if you're broke, well, then you ain't really going to lose shit because you're broke. You know what I mean? So it really is not this fucking, this scam that Pearl is trying to make it out to be like, oh, women are just living this luxurious lifestyle and the men are turned into slaves. I know this firsthand because my parents got divorced, bro. And I got plenty of friends who are, plenty of friends with divorced parents. And dad is living much better than mom. You know what I'm saying?
Based on me. You have to provide, look, Pearl, I am open to be convinced. But I need more than anecdotes. I need more than vibes and feelings. Because we're talking about something serious here. We're talking about raising children. We're talking about the shared responsibility of raising children. That, of course, includes the cost.
90% of disputed custody goes to women. That's not equal.
90%? That's a totally made up statistic. Where are you citing that from?
Uh-oh.
All right, let's take a break there.
Uh-oh.
Those opening interrogations are over.
Doesn't even know where the fuck. She's just pulling shit out of her ass. Trust me, bro.
The main thing I want people to understand, okay, Pearl's gonna trash women no matter what. That's fine.
I'm not trashing
But
them.
my biggest gripe with you is you're discouraging people from entering marriages.
I don't tell men what to do. Sell me on.
You advise men to avoid marriage.
Sell me on marriage. What do men get out of marriage?
That's sad. It's sad that people think that. It really is. You get a partner, you get a teammate, you get to build a life together, and it's beautiful.
I mean, the statistics tell us there are so many benefits that married men have over unmarried men. Let's take a look at the data. Here are just a few, right? Married men live 7 to 10 years longer than never married men on average. Widowed and divorced men have higher mortality than married men. And so the men who live the longest are married men. Married men are 2 to 3 times less likely to die by suicide than unmarried men. Something you often hear about in the manosphere space is the loneliness epidemic and how men are just fucking rage quitting life. Well, apparently the best vaccine from ever getting so sad that you want to just end it all is getting married. Granted, divorced and widowed men have the highest suicide rates, but shit, nigga, you can't win if you don't play the game. You know what I'm saying? Married men have lower rates of heart disease, stroke, high blood pressure, alcohol abuse, and substance abuse. Married men are more likely to exercise regularly, eat healthier, adhere to medical advice, and see doctors earlier. Married men commit significantly less violent and non-violent crimes. On average, married men report lower levels of depression, less loneliness, and higher life satisfaction. Now, of course, yes, a bad marriage is worse than being single. Like how being unemployed might be better than being in a super shitty job. But does that mean you should never look for a job? And that's the thing with marriage, man, as opposed to other things in life. You know what I'm saying? Nobody tells you, hey, don't work out, don't ever exercise because you might get an injury. Don't try and find a meaningful job or employment because you might fail if you start a business or you might end up with a shitty boss. Married men are less socially isolated, have stronger extended family ties, receive more emotional and logistical support in crises. Married men are less likely to enter nursing homes early, more likely to have in-home care, less likely to die alone, more likely to recover after major illness or surgery. And so the point is, and the lists go on and on and on and on. Now, of course, you gotta marry a good woman. Just like how you gotta find a good job, just like how you gotta find a good diet and workout plan. You can't no one's saying you can do any workout plan and get in great shape. You can do any diet and see great health results. You can work at any job and feel fulfilled at your place of employment. So obviously, naturally, yeah, you can't marry any woman and have these benefits. But to discourage men from getting married as a whole, and let's not forget, every single one of these conservative fucks that are pushing these talking points, trying to discourage men from getting married today, what's their biggest criticism of, for instance, why the black community isn't doing well? Because there's no man in the home. There's no man in the home. Where's the fatherless homes? These are the same people who are saying all the problems in the world are caused by children being raised by unmarried parents. And so, yes, that's another big benefit, is that you create a healthier environment for your children. As a man who has 3 children, with my eldest about to turn 4 years old, so I've been doing this for almost 4 years now, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, it is not possible for me or my wife to raise our children to the same degree of efficacy by ourselves as opposed to together. There is no world where I have to raise my children by myself and I can do as good a job as when I have my wife. And I know the vice versa is true as well. And so, yeah, that makes sense why all the data tells us that children who are raised in 2-parent households fare better than children who are raised by 1 parent alone. I see it every single fucking day. And so, again, there is yet another reason to get married. I'm not saying every man should get married, though. But I do believe that if you want children, the best model is being in a marriage.
I feel like misery loves company in this situation. And how would you know what you get out of marriage if you haven't experienced marriage in the first place? I'm not saying that as a personal attack. I really hope that Pearl meets the love of her life and gets married. It's not about that. But you trash it without really understanding what the benefits are.
Yeah.
Why do we have phrases like it's cheaper to keep her?
Pearl,
Answer the question.
divorce is expensive. And by the way, on purpose, to discourage people from getting divorced in the first place.
Yeah, it's also cheaper to not have kids. I guess nobody should ever have kids then. Yeah, divorce is expensive. But you see, definitely, if you are a fearful person, if you live your life ruled by fear, don't get married. It's just like how it would tell you, if you're the kind of person who lives your life ruled by fear, don't start a business. You're going to fail. You're probably going to get divorced. If you are this person who lives thinking about the worst case scenario first, you more than likely will fail. And so, yeah, it's not for everybody. If you're a weak-minded person that, you know what I'm saying, is also a negative, pessimistic person, it's not for you. I agree 1,000%.
Why do we have phrases like happy wife, happy life?
Because it's true.
Yeah.
Same with happy husband, happy life.
Exactly.
I don't want to come home to an angry husband.
Right.
But that's not a phrase.
Do you have any
Yeah,
other?
it's not a phrase because the woman's perspective has never been prioritized. Nobody gives a fuck if the woman is happy. You know what I'm saying? Beyond whether or not it affects you or your happiness as a man. That's why you don't hear that. You've never heard that phrase, right? You've heard this phrase because of who gets to be centered in scripts for TV shows and movies. That's where phrases like this come from. Happy wife, you know what they say, guys? Happy wife, happy life. You know, because it's all about the man's perspective. And so from the man's perspective, if the woman is happy, then his life is easier. But obviously, in what world is a woman the same level of happiness if her husband is a miserable, depressed fuck? Obviously, that's not the case.
Or like catchphrase or slogan you want to throw at me?
What do men get out of marriage?
They get
Wow.
a partner.
Right.
That gains 25 pounds in the first 5 years.
Men get pretty.
My wife is literally the same weight. She's had 3 kids. My wife is literally the same weight as when I met her. Maybe she's put on like 5 pounds, but like it's a good 5 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Like she was this skinny little college cheerleader girl when I met her. You know what I'm saying? And now she maybe put on like 5 pounds. But it's like I said, my wife is in great shape. You know what I'm saying? You can see my wife on Instagram. So, and she's had 3 kids. So that's just not true. That's just not true that like every woman is destined to become overweight as a result. If anything, I think a lot of women put on weight because they get depressed in their marriage because they are marrying some guy who thinks the fact that he's keeping a roof over their head is justification enough for why they should be happy and satisfied. And so women become miserable and eat away their emotions and feelings. Also, a lot of men don't keep themselves in shape either. And so what about that? Pearl is talking like it's a bunch of niggas with 6-packs walking around with fat wives. That ain't what I see. There's a lot of niggas with beer guts and beer bellies that got fat wives.
Fat too. I don't know if you've done a comparative analysis on that. They actually end up gaining more weight than their wives do. And who cares?
Men.
Right.
I mean, have a conversation with your partner. Encourage her.
Yeah. That's another thing. A lot of dudes, they pussy. They too pussy to be like, hey, babe, you're getting a little, you know what I'm saying? You're getting a little fat. You know, we need to do something about this because this ain't working out for me.
An adult.
How can men and women be equal?
Especially if she's giving you
How can men and
children.
women be equal when one is expected to die for the other?
What?
I don't expect anyone to die for anyone else. I don't know what that even comes
Yeah,
from.
but men are willing to die for you every day. The men in the police force, the men in the military.
What about the women in the police force?
Yeah.
They're 10% and they cause so many
what?
problems.
Okay.
Who cares what percentage women make up of the police force?
Yeah,
They're in
but
the
they
police
can't-
force.
they
My
can't-
sister-in-law's a cop, actually.
They can't do the same jobs. There's videos on the internet
see my
everywhere of
sister-in-law.
women getting their guns taken because they're not strong enough.
Are you just making
Okay, but can't and won't are two different things. What the fuck are you talking about?
things up? Pearl, what are you doing? Like, seriously. Next question.
Oh my God! Oh my God, she froze! Oh my God, this is horrible!
Do you realize how good you have it in this country?
Absolutely. A little harder to debate someone who's not an OnlyFans girl, right?
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Never. I don't need to. Not that I'm judging.
Do you think that men should have the right to opt out of fatherhood, since women have the right to opt out of motherhood?
No.
Men do have the right to opt out of fatherhood. It's called wearing a fucking condom. That simple. It's called wearing a condom. It's called not coming inside the woman. It's called being responsible. You get a chance. That's your, you see, a woman can't make you come inside her, right? That's how it works. It's a two-tier system. First, the man gets the option to opt out of fatherhood by deciding whether or not he's going to nut in the woman. Once you've nutted in the woman, you've handed off your ability to choose. Now it's in her court. It's not two equal people getting to choose at the same time. First, you get to decide. If you never nut in that woman, it don't matter how long she stay around you, she will never get pregnant for you. You have 100% of the power. And then once you come inside her, you have now given her 100% of the power. That's how it works. You get to choose first. So there.
I
Put a condom on.
See, you hear all those fucking like crybabies. No, I want to be irresponsible and not exert any self-control and just ejaculate inside of a woman and then bitch and cry about it when she doesn't want to fucking kill the baby.
You don't want to have children, put a condom on.
or require him to wear a condom. That's equal.
Yeah.
That choice is equally irresponsible.
No. Why does she have to now babysit you? She has to require you to like tell her that you got to put on a This is the bullshit, man. Stop infantilizing men. If men don't want to get women pregnant, men have 100% control over a woman not getting pregnant. You can wear a condom, you can get a vasectomy, you cannot come inside the girl. There are like all these different ways that you can prevent the woman from getting pregnant. You cannot have sex, you can practice celibacy. There are so many things you can do, so many ways. Only, you know what I'm saying, make her give you a top. You know what I'm saying, bust in her face. You got many options, you got many choices. But once you give her all of the power, then you gonna cry that she don't do what you want her to do?
He's the one with the Johnson. He gets to decide what he does with it.
I think I'm more of a feminist than you.
Sure. Go great. Congratulations.
See, you want the man to be able to choose whether he nuts inside the woman and then also get to choose what the woman does following, you know what I'm saying, what that nut does to her. It's insane. But that's the video, man. Go follow me on Twitter so we can continue to clown these fucking losers like Myron Gaines and Sneeko, these bitch ass niggas. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, but also let me know what you think in the comments down below about this video, man. Thank you for watching, and until next time, peace.